my dear sister, delectable Folashade Yemi Eson. We lead by example, don't we? As members of the Transition Council, we needed to be here in good time. Even my own co-MC, Special Advisor to the President on Media, Femi Adesina, also came in good time. If I do not mention your name, it's not that you are less important, but I need to be informed here to be able to announce your names, at least before Mr. President comes to the hall. From here, I can't see everybody, but I would definitely try to do justice to the ones that I'm being fed with. I'm aware the Commercial Federal Road Safety Corps is here as well. Dauda Aline Bim, you're welcome. It's good to exchange pleasantries, but please let's get seated. I can see my dear friend and colleague in the 4th Estate of the Realm, Danladi Bako, former DG Embassy, also a member of the Transition Council. We have some of our guests from outside Nigeria. And so if you normally will sit on the front seat before, the culture of Nigeria says we should defer to our guests, our alejos. So that must have explained why your seat would have been placed on the 2nd row. Bear with us. From the length and breadth of the hall, it won't be enough to seat everybody. I'm aware that my very good brother and my senior colleague in the 4th Estate of the Realm, former Governor, Ogun State, Chief Segun Oshoba, is also in the hall. You're welcome. Thank you. Members of the National Executive Council here present, you're welcome. Same with our state governors here present, our honorable ministers, captains of industry, from the length and breadth of Nigeria. They're here today, witnessing a historical event. Nigeria is making history again. We always make history, don't we? And God Almighty has been so good to us as a nation, to have kept us as one indivisible corporate entity till today. It can only be God. It can only be God, and we give him all the glory, the honor, the adoration. that we are all witnessing what we are witnessing today. Our Muslims, brothers and sisters, as I said earlier on, will call the Creator of heaven and earth, Almighty Allah. We give him reverence. The same with our Christian brothers and sisters. We will call him Almighty God. Indeed, he has been good to us. Please, let's get seated. Let's get seated before Mr. President comes into the hall. And thank you for honoring our invitation. Thank you for your commitment to evolve a better Nigeria. Thank you for being part and parcel of the enclave we call Nigeria. A beautiful, scintillating, naturally blessed nation. The Saharas and the Sahel of Nigeria bid you welcome. The rich rainforest, mangrove forest of Nigeria bid you welcome. The various tourism attractions of this great nation that the devil attacked some time ago, but today we're still standing tall as a nation. We bid you welcome. I'm told that we need to settle down. Mr. President is on the way. Please, let's get seated.
Head of service. Can you quickly ask her? She's seated. And Abdullah Adam. She's doctor. Okay, I know. Abdullah Adam. APC, it should have. Can we find out, please?
An integral part of the presidential inauguration 2023 is the investiture of national honors and official handover of transition document ceremony that we are about witnessing today. And that's why we have a lot of our governors, our ministers, distinguished members of the National Assembly, captains of industry, our distinguished politicians, and our friends from the diplomatic corps. They are all with us this morning. I bid you welcome.
Tinubu and His Excellency Kashim Shettima. To this end, I welcome in a very special way the President-elect and the Vice President-elect to this momentous occasion. This morning, We will be witnesses to 3 historical events, beginning with the conferment of the highest national honor on 2 deserving and distinguished individuals whom God Almighty has found worthy to lead our nation over the next 4 years. The second event will be the handover of transition documents to the President-elect. I would keep the third event to my chest so we don't lose the element of surprise that comes with the innovative addition to the ceremony. Mr. President, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my role at this time is to welcome you, and I would like to keep it simple, as I will be returning to give a detailed presentation that will outline the objectives of this gathering. Once again, welcome. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I will now invite the Honorable Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, distinguished Senator George Akume, to perform the first leg of this ceremony. Thank you.
His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, GCON, Your Excellency the First Lady, the President-elect, His Excellency Senator Bola Tinubu, accompanied by his dear wife, Senator Remi Tinubu, the Vice President-elect, His Excellency Kashim Shettima, and his dear wife, President of the Senate, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, my Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the Chairman of our great party, the All Progressives Congress, Baje Damu, members of the National Assembly, our governors, members of the Executive Council of Nigeria, Secretary to the Government, Chief of Staff, Honorable, the National Security Advisor, Head of Service, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Captains of Industry, senior party leaders here present, ladies and gentlemen. It is with utmost humility that I address this august gathering on the conferment of the national honors of the Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President-elect, and as Shiwaju of Lagos, and the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, GCON, on Senator Kashim Shettima, the Vice President-elect, respectively. Today, as is customary, the President will have the privilege of bestowing the highest national honors of our land upon these extraordinary Nigerians who have shown unwavering dedication, remarkable leadership, and selfless service to our nation. Your Excellency, you may recall that on June 12, 2018, in a deliberate attempt to heal the land and enthrone justice, you conferred these distinguished awards on His Excellency late Chief MKO Bola, GCFR, winner of the 1999 presidential election, and his vice, His Excellency Ambassador Babagana Kingibe, GCON. Late Chief Gane Fayomi was also honored at the ceremony with GCON in recognition of his fight for human rights, particularly the rights of the common man. However, today's event is different. Why the Abiola Kingibe election of June 12 was annulled? This election has been upheld and adjudged one of the freest and the most credible in the political history of our country. The verdict of history, therefore, will be kind and generous to you, Mr. President, for your commitment to the sanctity of the democratic process and love of country. Let me use this opportunity to extend my heartfelt congratulations to the President-elect, Bola Tinubu, and the Vice President-elect, Senator Kashim Shettima, on their forthcoming inauguration to President as Vice President of our great nation. Your Excellency's steadfastness, commitment, and wavering vision and vigorous efforts toward the progress and development of our dear country has earned you the people's confidence to lead Nigeria in the next dispensation. His Excellency Bola Tinubu and His Excellency Kashim Shettima are transformational and patriotic leaders. For 8 years of his stewardship of Lagos State, Shiwaju transformed the state in a most unprecedented way, and today the Lagos economy is rated as number 6 in Africa. He is also a political strategist. When his party, Alliance for Democracy, AD, was hit below the belt in 2003, he, along with his associates, planned and effected total deconstruction of the PDP in the Southwest. It is credit to Senator Shettima that he fought the dreaded Boko Haram to a standstill and still continued with massive development of Borno State as governor. Given the track records of the two patriotic and hardworking Nigerians, the two citizens, Nigerians massively voted for them on the 25th of February 2023 as President and Vice President respectively. As we savor the euphoria of this ceremony, let us remember that the recipients are considered as beacons of hope and aspiration for our nation. Their exemplary leadership and unwavering dedication to the betterment of our society serve as a reminder to a united Nigeria where all citizens can thrive without bounds. In conclusion, I would like to express my gratitude to Mr. President, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, for his remarkable achievements in the development of our nation. Your Excellency, has been a privilege to serve under your government. I am confident, as many Nigerians are, that the incoming administration will continue to build on the legacy that has been laid and take our nation to even greater heights. Thank you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you, Excellency and Minister George Akume. Mr. President, distinguished and eminent Nigerians, this is a two-pronged event. One is the investiture part, and the second is the transfer of baton of service. We are going into the first part now, which is the investiture conferment of the national honor of Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, GCON, on His Excellency Kashim Shettima, Vice President-elect. Can you step forward, please?
Born September 2, 1966 in Maiduguri, in to the illustrious family of Alhaji Shettima Mustafa Kutaibe, the Shettima Kaoma Moroma of Borno, and Hajia Nana Kujarima Shettima, a princess of the esteemed Elkanemi royal family, His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima is famously known for his courage as a performing wartime governor. Shettima attended La Misula Primary School in Maiduguri from 1972 to 1978, Government Community Secondary School View from 1978 to 1980, and Government Science Secondary School Potoskum from 1980 to 1983. Shettima obtained his BSc with honors in agricultural economics from the University of Maiduguri in 1989 and his MSc in agricultural economics from the University of Ibadan in 1991 after his NYSc in Calabar. Shettima worked as a University of Maiduguri lecturer before he moved into the banking sector, where he rapidly rose to become a general manager. In 2007, Shettima was appointed by Borno State Governor Ali Modi Sharif as Commissioner of Finance and Economic Development. Shettima later served in the Ministries of Education, Agriculture, Health, as well as Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. In 2011, Shettima was elected Governor of Borno State and re-elected in 2015. As Governor, Kashim Shettima formalized, funded, trained and equipped thousands of Borno youths under the name Civilian JTF, who voluntarily supported the military in fighting Boko Haram. Shettima also prioritized Borno's infrastructural development and the reconstruction of communities displaced by Boko Haram. To revolutionize education and promote peace in Borno, Shettima introduced the mega-sized school system, targeting orphans from insurgent attacks.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations, His Excellency, the Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima, GCON. Thank you. For those manning the equipment where the citation is being read, the procedure now will be you read the citation first, or you play the citation first, and then the person who is being invested with the title will come forward. So, shall we take the citation of President-elect His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Citation, please. The President-elect can stand up, please.
Perhaps more than any other person since the return of civilian rule in 1999, Bola Ahmed Tinubu's fidelity in maintaining his political party as a formidable opposition helped salvage multi-party democracy in Nigeria. Rising through the political murky waters in the 1990s, he propelled his way with the Progressives platform of a social democratic party which evolved out of Shehu Musa Yar'Adua's People's Front political machine to become the strongman of Lagos politics, winning a senatorial election for Lagos Central Senatorial District in 1992. Bola Ahmed Tinubu never looked back after then. He went ahead to win the governorship election in Lagos State in 1999 under the flag of the Alliance for Democracy Party. The virtues of courage, determination, commitment, vision, focus and strong sense of purpose that have characterized Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's politics drove his emergence as one of the country's most successful governors. His stewardship of Lagos State for 8 years remains a reference point for good governance in Nigeria and across the region, creating the blueprint for Nigeria's richer state and 5th largest economy in Africa. Asiwaju Tinubu, along with a few other progressives, cobbled together the APC, which in 2015 unseated a sitting president at the center for the first time in Nigeria's political history. That elected government, led by President Muhammadu Buhari, was re-elected in 2019 based on its superlative performance and Tinubu's political sagacity. He overwhelmingly won his party's primary election in Abuja on June 8 last year at Eagle Square in a most transparent and well-organized election. As the party's presidential candidate, he traversed the length and breadth of the country, campaigning for votes with his manifesto, which he christened Renewed Hope, Agenda for Better Nigeria, wherein he promised far-reaching ideas and solutions to make life better for the people. Born on the 29th of March 1940 and first attended Richard Daley College in Chicago and then Chicago State University, graduating in 1979 with a Bachelor of Science degree in accountancy. Tinubu got employment in the United States with such companies as Deloitte and GTE Services Corporation. He returned to Nigeria in 1983 and joined ExxonMobil as a company executive. After an illustrious career in the private sector, he ventured into Nigeria's political terrain and has evolved into a political master strategist and a mentor of multitude of men. At Bola Tinubu's 71st birthday on March 29, 2023, President Muhammadu Buhari was quoted in his congratulatory message by Femi Adesina, his special advisor on media and publicity, as saying, and I quote, "I believe Asiwaju's warmth, friendliness and generosity has set the pace for a network of friends, home and abroad, that will shape his presidency with requisite expertise to guide their economy and consolidate on the investments of past leaders, particularly in the people's first development and infrastructure," unquote. President Buhari. Today, he prepares to assume office as President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, more than 30 years since he entered politics for the common good, during which he helped shape the political careers of many. What more can one say about an incoming 16th President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria but to hail our man of the moment, our leader, our mentor, our fisher of men, our
President-elect, please step forward while Mr. President will perform the conferment of the National Honor of Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, GCFR. Congratulations, President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR.
From today, we wouldn't be addressing President-elect as His Excellency Bola Tinubu alone. It will not be complete except you put His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. Another round of applause, the same for our Vice President-elect. Congratulations. Congratulations. It's a beautiful day. Going next to the item we have on the program, to show the import of why we included this in the program, is because some people still don't know how much the creative arts, culture, and tourism should be contributing to a nation's national growth. Some do know, some don't. And so we decided that to bring it to perspective, we should include this. The contributions of culture, tourism, and the creative arts to a nation's economy cannot be overemphasized. Mention our rich cultural heritage, our songs, our dances, our rhythms, our rhymes, our cultural festivals, our poetry, folklore, read political history, our museums, monuments, art galleries, Nollywood films that are making us proud and Miss Committee of Nations, our rich darbas, rich traditions. No wonder we have our own fathers here, our traditional rulers, and they came in good time to be here today. Mention it. We are blessed as a nation. Mr. President took it to a high level. Our new incoming president is determined to take it to another higher level. In anticipation of that, let's give them a round of applause. Spoken words is an integral part of the culture, tourism, and creative arts industry all over the world. That explains why our own daughter will be coming out in a few seconds to give her own presentation. Keyon Onyeka is an award-winning spoken word artist whose goal is to influence change at personal, national, and global levels. She has performed at high-level events organized by international organizations like USAID, UKAID, and the Commonwealth. She believes in a Nigeria where leaders and critics and citizens work collectively for its development, and communicated this in her poem, No Sidon Look. No more Sidon Look, for those that are Sidoning. To say it in the pidgin language. That's the title of the spoken word for today. And this featured on BBC Media Action, Making Nigeria Proud, and Miss Committee of Nations. Please let's give a round of applause as I call on Keyon Onyeka. Keyon, please step forward and let's see you do what you know how to do best. Bless you. Another round of applause. Thank you. That would encourage her.
Arise, O compatriots. Nigeria calls you, not your tribe, religion, or political affiliation, but this land of tens of millions calls you to guide her to light. In this call is a voice of a 10-year-old, diagnosed with a disease that she has no name for and a cost bigger than her age. She calls you. Will you answer? Arise, O compatriots. Nigeria calls you. In this call is the voice of a man, powerful but crippled by unemployment. See him in traffic, hawking, racing after cars that keeps outrunning him. He calls you. Will you answer? Arise, O compatriots. Nigeria calls you. In this call is the voice of a native clutching his ancestors in his chest, questions staggering in his chest whether to japa or to stay. Will you answer? Arise, O compatriots. Nigeria calls you. In this call is the voice of a woman terrified every time her son walks out the door, wondering whether he will come back a walking body or in a body bag. He calls you. Will you answer? We are the answer to our own prayers. We are the prophet. We are the prophecy. We are Nigerians, a coming together of a people who their blood today hot, a conglomerate of men and women who do not go to bed until the sun does, resilience tattooed on our skin. Not west, not east, not central, southeast, south-south, southwest, every tribe, every tongue coming together into one. For we are better together. Arise, O compatriots. In every place where we fought each other, we drop our arms and stretch out our arms to hold each other. That the labor of our heroes will not stay rotting on history books, but become the foundation for us to build tomorrow together. That no seat, no table is set without everyone sitting on it. That every time we build ourselves together, we're coming together and echoing that we are better together. Do they know who we are?
Of President Muhammadu Buhari to ensure that His Excellency President-elect Bola Tinubu and his team have all the information required to make a quick start with the business of governance. For the records, 3 documents will be presented to the President-elect this morning. The first is a briefing note on each of the 9 priority areas, covering all sectors. The briefs are intended to provide relevant information that would help the new administration understand the peculiarities of each sector, including key issues within the sector that need immediate attention, highlights of quick wins, a mapping of the efforts of the Buhari administration in the areas where it finds alignment with the renewed hope agenda of the incoming administration. The novelty about this, Your Excellency, Mr. President and the President-elect, is that we took the renewed hope agenda and aligned it with the 9 priority areas. And where there are gaps, we indicated the gaps. And where there are improvements based on the renewed hope agenda, we indicated it and we stated what are the quick wins, what can be deferred for the future. So this is a comprehensive document you are receiving this afternoon. It's a combination of the effort of the President Muhammadu Buhari administration aligned with your vision for Nigeria. The briefs also provide key recommendations on how to improve sector outcomes. The second document you'll be receiving, Your Excellency, this afternoon is a compendium which comprehensively captures the priority programs and projects implemented by the Buhari administration towards achieving the 9 priority areas. It displays a trend of analysis of annual budget performances from 2019. Every year, what is the budget performance? 80%, 100%, 50%, as achieved through the mandate of the 9 priority areas. Each ministry is catalogued into that, and a summary of the ministerial performance and scorecard for each ministry is detailed in this document. You take, for instance, Ministry of Education. What is the impact of that ministry on the citizens? If the mandate says they are going to increase enrollment with 2 million, what percentage of that 2 million have been achieved? And if it has not been fully achieved, what are the impediments? What were the constraints? Was it as a result of funding? Was it as a result of conflicting administration of that particular mandate? And what are the expected outcomes and the way out? So that is provided in this particular document. Policies and projects implemented throughout the period. It contains up-to-date information on what the outgoing government has accomplished, what is yet to be achieved, major challenges, and the advisories for the future. The third document you are receiving this afternoon, Your Excellency, is Policy Status Update. In a bid to preserve institutional memory and support the efforts of the incoming administration, the policies implemented by all the ministries, extra-ministerial departments and agencies under the Buhari administration has been carefully compiled and organized to show the period each was developed, the key objectives of that policy, the status of implementation, the key achievements, and what remains to be done. So these are the 3 documents that are contained in the white box, which Mr. President will be handing over to you this afternoon. These documents represent years of hard work, strategic planning and implementation. They provide a comprehensive overview of the administration's achievements, ongoing projects, and priorities for the future. With the foundation laid by the President Muhammadu Buhari administration, President-elect His Excellency Bola Tinubu, GCFR, has a solid platform to build upon and continue the journey towards a prosperous and thriving Nigeria. We hope the incoming administration will find these documents useful and utilize them as a basis for defining its policy direction. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is now my singular honor and privilege to invite the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, to preside over the transmission of the handover documents to President-elect His Excellency Bola Tinubu, GCFR. I thank you for your kind attention and patience, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yes, it's all going to be done there.
Oh, everything together. Oh, okay. So the next thing we are doing is to invite the president. The transition documents are going to be handed over to the president-elect now by President Muhammadu Buhari. Then you have the baton of service, which President Buhari will also hand over to the president-elect, Bola Tinubu, GCFR. You know that in a relay race, batons are handed over. It shows you that governance and government is a long-distance race. Now, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's please have our seats. And please, let's cut the noise that is coming from the back of the hall. This is a high-level event, and such kind of noise is not expected or appreciated. Please, let's control the noise coming from the back of the hall. The president-elect is going to make his speech shortly after the podium is set up. I hope you can recall that in 2015, at about this time, the noise in the country then was that there were no form of transition documents. No notes, no reports, nothing. But you can see the difference today. The president has signed Executive Order 14, which mandated the Transition Council to prepare all that we have seen now. And it's going to be a culture in the country because it's already a law. You won't have any other government succeeding another government, and there are no records at all because Executive Order 14 has mandated that every government does this before a new government comes in. Thank you. I think we should give a round of applause. Thank you. My pleasure to call on the President-elect, His Excellency, Bola Tinubu, to make his response. Welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari and his wife, Her Excellency Ajia Aisha Buhari. Your Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibai. My wife, Oluremi Tinubu. Thank you. The Vice President-elect and his wife Shettima, the Senate President, Senator Ahmed Lawan, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, the Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria, Your Excellencies, my lords, governors, and all their political colleagues here present. Chief Busy Akade, the first interim somewhere. All the ministers, the honorable senators, it is a great honor for me to stand before you today. But let me first of all say thank you. You have made history, and no one can deny your contribution to our national development. Your devotion to progressive and democratic governance is unassailable. I stand here today, renewed in hope and dedication to our national greatness. I also feel full of pride that this moment is our moment, and I know what it represents. This stately occasion is proof that Nigeria is vibrant and true democracy. It confirms that our democratic path is right. And is right. And nothing will deter us from sticking to it. I assure you. Our way shall not be always smooth, yes. Democracy is rough and tumble, hills and valleys. Yet we are imbued with faith in our purpose and belief in our collective ability to overcome the challenges that confront us. President Bola, you have shown courage in taking tall decisions others avoided. On such decision is to recognize the injustice of annulment of 1993 election, to designate June 12th as a Democracy Day, and to bestow the nation's highest honor on late MKO Abiola. As much as anyone could, you reach back into history to set the record straight and heal the festering wounds. Thank you. The justice you did in this matter lent special meanings to today. The people have put their trust in us. You have done your part, Mr. President. Now, a great duty will descend on me. I understand the meaning of the honor given to me today and the magnitude of the task that awaits. Whether you go to Dara or Niger or anywhere, you expect knocks on your doors. We are determined, as enumerated, on security. We must make headway as you've charted the course. The people deserve no less. You said so. I shall not disappoint you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President-elect. Thank you so much. Standing on existing protocols, Mr. President-elect has said it all. If you're looking for a thinker and a strategist, is Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, GCFR. He said a lot to us today, and we're happy to hear him speak. He talked about the renewed hope for a better Nigeria. I summarize all that he has said today with those words: the new hope, a renewed hope for a better Nigeria. One short quotation I got from him, because we're conscious of time and we need to quickly wrap this up for some other engagements. He said, and I quote, "I understand the magnitude of the national honors accorded me today and the task ahead." End of quote. And when he was saying that, something reminded me of what he did in Lagos State as our governor for the tourism, culture, and the creative arts industry in Nigeria. I was Director General Tourism then, and so we went to Lagos State to meet with him. And he told me and my entourage, I must promote this sector, not only for the betterment of my state, as the most cosmopolitan state in Nigeria, but for the betterment of the Nigerian nation. And so we came up with a Black Heritage Festival that became a tourism icon for Lagos State for all the years he was there, and all other governors that came after him continued promoting the Black Heritage Festival and the tourism product of the state for Nigeria. I think we should give him a round of applause. It shows his depth of foresight and creativity. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming towards the tail end of this program. Just before I call on our number one citizen, Mr. President himself, I want to prepare our minds that immediately after Mr. President speaks, we wouldn't want him to go through the bother or the pain of going back to sit down again. We will be taking the photographs immediately. So while he stands by the podium, those that have been enlisted to join him for the photographs will be called. We have it in the program. But we've also been given the latitude as masters of ceremony for myself and Femi Adesina to put our heads together and include some people that must be there. Because when we're looking at the list, there were some people omitted. And I recall yesterday, the council did say, MCs, use your discretion. Don't leave anyone out. So with the list you have, we would want Senator Abdullahi Adamu, Chairman APC, to join when we get to the assignment of the photographs. Professor Ibrahim Gambari, the Chief of Staff to the President, to join. Chief Bisi Akonde, former Osun Governor. Chief Shegun Oshoba, former Ogun State Governor. And other governors here present to join. We will get to that in a few. Now to listening to the father of the nation, the gentleman that have done his best in the past 8 years to evolve in a better Nigeria. Some love him for it, some hate him for it. But by God's grace today, he's still standing and standing tall. Let's give him a round of applause. He is standing by God's grace and standing tall. And what readily comes to my mind is summarizing, as I invite him, summarizing the words of the Greek philosopher, which relates to his vision and the vision of the incoming president. And the philosopher says, and I quote, I must pass this way, but once. The good I can do, let me do it now. Let me not defer it, nor neglect it, because I may or may not pass this way again. If I read the minds of our incoming president-elect, those are his words. When I read the mind of Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari 8 years ago, even when he featured on my television show, those were his words. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together as I call on the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our own Muhammadu Buhari.
Thank you. Please sit down. Thank you. Your Excellency, the Vice President, President-elect and spouse, Vice President-elect and spouse, the President of the Senate, Speaker of the House of Representatives, my dear wife, executive governors here present, members of the National Assembly, members of the Federal Executive Council, members of the Diplomatic Corps, service chiefs, and Inspector General of Police, heads of security and intelligence agencies, traditional rulers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure and a deep sense of pride that I stand before you today to confer national honors on the President-elect and Vice President-elect, His Excellency Kashim Shettima. This ceremony marks a significant milestone in our nation's democratic journey as we inaugurate a new administration that will lead Nigeria towards greater progress and prosperity. I extend my warmest congratulations to the President-elect and his well-deserved victory at the February 25th, 2023 presidential election. The Nigerian people have recognized your leadership qualities, political acumen, and passion to serve our great nation, and have entrusted you with the burden of governing our beloved country. I have no doubt that Nigeria will continue to thrive and achieve new heights under your leadership. You are the best candidate at the elections, and Nigerians have chosen wisely. I equally extend my congratulations to the Vice President-elect. Your wealth of experience in governance, your unwavering commitment to the well-being of the Nigerian people, and your exemplary leadership during challenging times as Governor of Borno State has made you a deserving candidate for this position. I have full confidence that you will serve our nation with uttermost dedication and integrity. In accordance with the Honors Award Act 1963, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, Presidents, Heads of State receive the honor of Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, GCFR, while the Vice Presidents are awarded the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, GCON. Today, with authority vested in me as President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I have conferred the national honors of GCFR on His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that of GCON on His Excellency Kashim Shettima, respectively. As we celebrate this auspicious occasion, let us not forget the immense responsibilities that come with leadership. The challenges facing our nation are significant, and it is the duty of the President and the Vice President to address them with courage, wisdom, and compassion. We must remain committed to the principles of good governance, transparency, and accountability, as these are the foundations upon which our nation's progress and development rely. President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you have a long and illustrious track record of public service, marked by your exceptional achievements in various capacities. Your transformative leadership in Lagos State, where you left an indelible mark in the areas of infrastructure, education, healthcare, and economic development, speak volumes about your dedication to the welfare of the Nigerian people. Your commitment to fostering unity, irrespective of ethnic or religious differences, is a testament to your statesmanship and visionary leadership. This administration, from inception, has faced security challenges such as insurgency, oil theft, kidnapping, as well as corruption, which has eaten deep into the system. With political will and support of many Nigerians, especially our dogged armed forces, insurgency, terrorism, and kidnapping have been reduced to their barest minimum, while corruption has been tackled headlong. Despite the aforementioned challenges, our administration has made economic gains over the years. While acknowledging the turbulent times and global economic meltdown occasioned by world oil crisis and most recently the COVID-19 pandemic, our economy has remained afloat and strong. Our administration commitment and determination in infrastructural upliftment of Nigeria have remained unshaken. The second Niger Bridge has been completed and commissioned. I am happy to say that no administration in Nigeria's modern history has given so much attention to roads like we have done in the last 8 years. In all, we have been able to construct and complete over 8,352.94 kilometers of roads across Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, in spite of the shortfall in the federal government's revenue due to weakness in the global economy that had led to drop in oil revenue, we have touched on all sectors of the Nigerian economy positively. As we celebrate the monumental infrastructural strides achieved by this administration, it is pertinent to acknowledge that these transformative endeavors have not only reshaped our physical landscape, but have also paved the way for remarkable economic outcomes that reverberate across our nation. The link between infrastructure and economic prosperity is undeniable. It is through the construction of roads, railways, bridges, and other critical assets that we unlock the true potential of our nation, leading to better communication, facilitating trade, and propelling economic growth. To avoid a repeat of our 2015 experience, I signed Executive Order number 14 of 2023, which establishes the legal framework for conducting presidential transitions at the federal level. The Executive Order establishes the Presidential Transition Council chaired by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and ministerial transitional teams headed by the permanent secretaries. The primary responsibility of these two ad hoc bodies is to ensure that every piece of information that will help a new administration get off to a speedy start is made available in a usable format and in a timely manner. Today, I am proud to have handed over to you, my successor, Your Excellency Bola Tinubu, three key documents that will guide you as you aim to define a path for your administration. It is my earnest desire that you will find these documents useful, as this would be the first time in the history of this country that such a detailed documentation will be produced for handover to a new administration. I strongly encourage you to uphold this legacy and make experience even better for your successor by the time you are to leave office. It may also interest you to know that apart from these three documents, all the ministries and their agencies have also prepared their handover notes, ready to brief their new political leadership. I want to sincerely thank the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and his team for this great feat. We just witnessed the transfer of a baton of service from me to President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu as part of a symbolic handover for him to continue with the race of advancing our democracy and development. This is a first in the history of our nation's transition process. To preserve this remarkable history for generations to come, I have directed that the baton be preserved in the Presidential History Wing of the National Archives. And I hope that President-elect Tinubu and those after him will build on this tradition. I would like to now express my deepest gratitude to the Nigerian people for their unwavering support and trust throughout my tenure as president. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve this great nation, and I am confident that Nigeria is in capable hands as we embark on this new chapter. I have run a good race. I have finished my course. It is now time for another to take up the baton. Once again, I congratulate President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima on their well-deserved investiture. May the Almighty bless you and guide you in your endeavors to lead Nigeria towards a brighter and more prosperous future. Thank you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. Please get seated. Get seated. Those that need to join Mr. President for the photograph, it's on the program, and the names I mentioned earlier: Senator Abdullahi Adamu, APC, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, Chief of Staff to the President, of course, First Lady, the wife of our outgoing President, Chief B.C. Akonde, Chief Shegun Oshoba. Our President said something very, very germane. He has done the race. He's fought the fight. And he fought the fight still standing, alive and well. We thank God for sparing his life and that of his wife till today. The same for our outgoing Vice President and his wife. This can only be God. God that has spared you till today will spare our incoming President and his wife as well. The same with our incoming Vice President and his wife. Because we know God loves Nigeria. Yes, I want us to stand sideways. I can see my people adjusting. Our eminent people there. Let's stand sideways so that the camera will not cut you off. That is a strategy. Sideways, you are so sure that you will be captured. I can see our Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, doing so well with that. Our First Lady, even our incoming First Lady. It's been a beautiful day. Now the national anthem, we're calling it a close. hearty cheers to our incoming president. Hip, hip, hip. Hooray. Hip, hip, hip.